Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with my anticipated Q1, aka January, February, March releases for 2024. How are we here already? I cannot believe it, but I'm trying to be better about putting these up like a chunk before they happen. As always, these are not comprehensive new release lists, nor are they comprehensive of all the authors I love to read, because some of them, a lot of them, not some, a lot of them are indie, and that means their books just come out when they come out, and I'm here for it, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm here for it still, and I'm excited for them. We'll talk about them when they come out, probably in resets. But for now, let's dive right into January releases, because I'm so excited for what we have coming up in the first quarter of this year. I feel like we have a really interesting release year in 2024 so far. It's a lot of sequels. It's a lot of really big authors releasing some kind of new stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm excited. First up, on the 16th of January, we have Midnight Ruin. I'm not going to talk extensively about this. This is book 6 in the Dark Olympus series. If you're reading it, I don't feel like I need to tell you about it, but what I do need to say about this, like, we're hitting the point where you can't just enter at the newest book, okay, first of all. So I do think I need to caveat that to y'all. But also, we are reading books that, like, just explore so many different kinds of kinks and things, and I deeply adore that part of Katie Robert and of her writing, personally. This one has puppy play, which I'm like, okay, I mean, I've read it before. It's not my fave. It's not my, like, it's whatever. So I'm curious about that. I know this is, like, a throuple. I know this has some second chance elements, and probably some good grovels. So I'm excited. I'm also pumped because I'm going to the release event in Kentucky for this book, because of course I am. It's not that far away, so we have to go. But yeah, I will be at that release event for this one, and I'm just really excited to actually meet Katie in person, because I've not gotten to do that yet, so I'm pumped. Next we have Most Ardently by Gabe Cole Nova? I'm not sure because of the N-O. It's fine. This is a Pride and Prejudice remix, which Macmillan's been doing these, and I think they're really fun. I've not read any of them yet, but they're all like, I want to read them. So I don't know, maybe we'll do a vlog where I read a bunch of them. This one I'm excited about because it is a trans romance. Oliver Bennett is, so this follows Oliver Bennett, who is his most himself with Darcy, and explores it in that way, and I'm just really curious how this works out, how it plays out. I also just love these concepts. I think they're such fun setups for redoing classics and making them modern, like a modern take on a classic. I think that's really fun. I'm pumped for this one. I need to read the other ones too, so at some point I will. Next, on January 23rd, we have Wildlife by Opal Way. This is a pen name for another author that I've read before, Ruby Lang, who's, like, I think open about it. I'm not sure. If not, I'll edit that out. But this is about a woman who's seeking a cure for cancer her sister had as a kid. The sister did survive. I do need to note that. And the himbo rich man with a private island and a feral cougar named Baby. And this description comes from my friend B over on Twitter, B in her books. She's also on Instagram. She read it early and was like, this book. And I'm like, I need this immediately, because this book sounds like an 80s Harlequin romance, and it's being published by Harlequin, so I'm hoping it is very bonkers and off the wall, like 80s Harlequin, you know? Like, that's the goal I'm hoping here, of, like, banana pants level. So I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be really fun to read. I think it's going to be very enjoyable. I think it just sounds like silly good times. And if you're unaware of 80s Harlequin romance, like, bonkersness, go look at some of them. Like, if you're in a used bookstore and you can find some, pick them up and read the back. There are ones where they have, like, Pet Tiger. Like, they are ridiculous, and I live for this. Y'all know that. It's not a surprise I live for this. All right, next on January 30th, we have Canadian Boyfriend by Jenny Holiday. I am still in my hockey romance zone. I haven't been reading as many of them, but I'm kind of, like, waiting here to go on a big marathon over the holidays, to be honest. But this is my first Jenny Holiday that I'll have ever picked up and read, finally. And I feel like Jenny Holiday is an author I've been wanting to read. I hear a lot of amazing things about her. A lot of people I know love her books. And this is a ballet teacher and a hockey player. She makes the Canadian boyfriend joke, like, my boyfriend's in Canada, I can't go to a thing, my boyfriend's in Canada, as a teen, because I met as teenagers at, like, the Mall of America. Lo and behold, now we're adults, and oh shit, she has to explain to this guy what she was doing, and they're reunited years later, and this is part of the plot, and I'm trash for it. And also, like, just a fun joke, because, like, if you're older and have been on the internet a while, I feel like you know the, like, my girlfriend or boyfriend in Canada jokes, so perfection. I'm very excited for this one. I also really actually like this illustrated cover. I think it's very cute. All right, let's talk about February. Oh my goodness. Okay, so February 6th, we have A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams. This is about Ricky, who leaves her family's dynasty and legacy behind in the South to open up a flower shop in Harlem. And a swoony stranger walks in one day, and here we are following their romance. I really like Tia Williams. I will say I'm curious if this one feels more romance than previous books. The previous book I've read by her, which is her only other one, 7 Days in June, which I really enjoyed as well to an extent. Like, I had some issues with it, but I'm curious enough that I will definitely be reading those. I know it's going to be a very popular title. I know it's going to be one that a lot of people want to read and like will read and be talking about, so I definitely plan to read it sooner than later when it comes out. I do love this cover. I feel like they give her such good covers, but yeah, I'm intrigued. All right, next we have The Last Days of Lila Goodluck by Kylie Scott. This is about Lila, who saves a witch's life and is given 5 unwanted predictions. And she's like, yeah, whatever, this isn't real. Well, 3 of those predictions come true within 24 hours. And she is like, oh crap, what is going on? So she's kind of like on this quest to figure out what's going on and maybe stop the bad prediction that she was given. This does have a plus size heroine, you can tell by the cover. I've enjoyed other Kylie Scott books. I didn't read the one that came out last year, but I'm kind of curious to try her writing this because I've read her Stage Dive series and her spy books and like some of her more older, not old, but older-ish books. So I would just be curious to see what this one is like. All right, so on to February 13th, we have At First Spite by Olivia Dade. I adore Olivia Dade. I have met her now and am always just ecstatic to get to see her. She's supposed to be at Stevie Lit again, so I'm pumped to see her again next year. And I love her covers. Like, I get burnt out on Lenny Kaufman covers, you do not get me wrong. But I really, really like Olivia's Lenny Kaufman covers because I think they feel different always because we have fat people on the cover. This is about a woman harassing her ex's brother after he split them up. And she basically lives in a spite house, which is like a small house next to his house, and harasses him via like monster romances on full volume audiobooks and things like that. And I am obsessed with it. I think it just sounds so fun and so silly. I'm hopeful that it's a really good time. We'll see. Shipwrecked wasn't my all-time favorite, but I still really enjoyed it for the most part. Next, we have Simply the Best by Susan Elizabeth Phillips. She is a classic romance author. We'll call it someone who's been in this genre a long time. So I'm really curious how this will work because this is another book in the Chicago Stars series, which I've only read Nobody's Baby But Mine, but I kind of would like to read the rest of because Nobody's Baby was so good. But this one follows a sports agent and a failed chocolatier whose older brother is a football player, so I'm assuming he's his agent. They have a drunken night together and then we go from there, which it's giving me Nobody's Baby But Mine, but also like different. So I'm intrigued and I will be picking this up because I kind of just need to know. I need to know how it goes, where we're headed. What's like, is it still good? Is it as bonkers as the other one? Because that was part of what I loved about that first book. February 20th, we have Frenemy Fix Up by Yara St. John. I think that's how you say her name. I'm not sure. And we're gonna hope for the best here. This is a yoga instructor and an accountant. So we have a very like free living, free flow, open, free-spirited person and a more buttoned-up accountant. This follows Colin, the accountant, who has a health scare that forces him to make some changes, and he ends up in his former high school classmate's yoga studio to do so, and it's their romance. So I'm just really curious at the end of the day how this will play out, because I don't honestly know. Like, I'm not sure, but I'm curious because this is also part of Harlequin's new Afterglow line, which has replaced Desire. Fingers crossed it's a good time. We'll see what happens. On to March. We have on March 5th, This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. This is book 2 in her current series. I still have to read before I let go. So I'll probably do that this month so I can read my arc that I got of this one sooner than later. I am excited and nervous for this one because it's Kennedy Ryan. I know I like her writing. I love her books, but they always make me cry just about. They always feel like a gut punch. They're very emotional reads. And like, that's not a bad thing. I'm just not somebody who always wants an emotional read. So I'm hesitantly excited, we'll call it. Next we have Manila Takes Manhattan by Carla de Guzman. This is a Filipino author that I've read from before and really enjoyed her indie work. So I'm excited to see her coming out from Afterglow. This follows a music producer and an actress who have a one-night stand situation and then lo and behold have to work together for a month. And you know what? I don't know what it is, but I love the one-night stand to like, oh shit, we have to do a thing together. I think they're so fun. And it feels like kind of realistic. More realistic than the fake dating often feels. If that, like, to me, like, I think that it can feel more realistic than that. So I'm curious. Really, really curious. This cover, I, like, probably wouldn't have noticed it if I didn't realize who the author was, because to me this cover doesn't look that romancy, but we'll see. We'll see how we feel. That is everything I'm excited for the first couple months of 2024. Let me know what books you're excited for coming out this year in 2024 or in the first 3 months. Take your pick, because I'll add them to my list if they're later in the year. And if you don't want to do either of those things, you leave me a cat emoji in the comments, and I will have links to all of these books for you down below, as well as links to my friend anywhere I am on the internet, and I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye!
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away.